This episode of the Rogue Deck Builder is brought to you by MTGOtraders.com, the official trading bot service of the Rogue Deck Builder. For huge selection and lowest prices around on Magic the Gathering online cards, visit MTGOtraders.com. Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with another sponsored Pauper video by MTGOtraders.com, the official bot for Rogue Deck Builder. Highly suggest you go check them out. They have huge quantities of cards and very low prices. Anyway, this is going to be Pauper Rogues with the vampire twist to it. I am doing vampires just kind of as a shout out to the Shadows over Innistrad that we are going to be getting here soon in a few weeks. And I think that this Pauper deck will actually get more powerful with more vampires in the mix. So the reason why we're running vampires is just Vampiric Fury. It's a 2-mana Trumpet Blast at instant speed, which also gives first strike, so I think it's very powerful. This is going to be running very similar to a burn deck. Everything in this deck wants to be doing 4 damage. So another reason why I want to go Rogues is I think this card is very underrated in Pauper, which is called Morsel Theft, which basically says Prowl. That means if you dealt damage with a Rogue, you can cast it for its Prowl cost, and if you cast it for its Prowl cost, target player loses 3 life and you gain 3 life, and you get to draw a card if it had Prowl. That is huge. 2 mana for 3 life and 3 damage and draw a card? Yeah, okay, we're playing with this particular card. Another great burn card in the black is Tyrant's Choice. If the vote is always tied, which it will be tied, because you'll want your opponent to, if they want to sack a creature, they're going to vote for. If they don't want to sack a creature, they're going to vote for the Torture, and if you don't want them to sack a creature, they'll vote for Death. But if Torture is tied, it's always it's going to be that scenario most of the time. They're going to lose 4 life. So it's just going to be basically, is it flame something out of, there's a red version of this very similar that does 4 damage to an opponent. So it's just like a Boros Charm equivalent for black. So huge damage there. And then the other one, which is Lava Spike for black with the ability to flashback, is Bump in the Night. So out of these cards, through the Morsel Theft, the Bump in the Night, and the Tyrant's Choice, we should be able to get in a lot of damage very quickly, bringing down our opponent to where we want to be with vampires, which is under 10 life. So once they're under 10 life, our vampires get +2. These Gruul Draws vampires get +2/+1, so they become 3/2s. And then also the the Ruthless Coldblades become 4/2s, as they're 2/1s for 2 mana. So that's really what we're trying to get after, is get to 10, and these guys are really powerful. Then we have some other nice ways to get our opponent's damage down very quickly. Is Pulse Tracker, which is a 1 for a 1/1 Vampire Rogue. When it attacks the deal, they lose 1 life immediately. And so hopefully first turn we can drop a Pulse Tracker, get them down to 18 on turn 2, drop a few more 1-drops, and then get them down low with Bump in the Nights and Tyrant Choices. And then we have the way to go wide with the Vampiric Fury. We also have some Vampire Lacerators in here. They're just another 2/2 for 1. And the Shadow Alley Denizen, which can give Intimidate. Not really sure about this card other than it's another 1-drop that synergizes with Vampiric Fury. And same thing with Quag Vampires. There's another Vampire Rogue to really get this Morsel Theft online. I think it's going to be key for Morsel Theft. The Quag Vampires can be kicked, so you can, and it does have Swamp Walk, which is sort of relevant in Pauper. I think black does. Black is one of the lesser used colors. Green, red, and blue are very popular in Pauper. White and black are kind of the next tier down. There is a lot of white decks and a lot of black decks. They just don't seem to be as in high numbers as the green, blue, and red decks. So onto the sideboard. So actually we're very just subtly splashing red for the Bump in the Night, Flashback, and the Vampiric Fury. So we're going to run 4 Bloodfell Caves and the 4 Rakdos Guild Gates, because I think it's very easy to drop a Swamp turn 1, and then turn 2 drop a Bloodfell Caves or Rakdos Guild Gate, and then drop another 1-drop or a Bump in the Night. And so I think that, I mean, the highest mana cost in our deck is just 2, and so we can easily go down, but we do want to hit 6 every now and again for the Bump in the Night Flashback. Sideboard is really just open-ended. There's a lot of different cards you can use. Since we're using a lot of 1-drops, I'm going to use Soul Reap, which destroys target non-green creature. And if you cast another black spell this turn, they lose 3. So on turn 3, this is when you want to drop a 1-drop or a Bump in the Night, and then Soul Reap them, destroy their non-green creature, and they lose 3 life. So it's kind of like our Searing Blood. And then there's Guess Verdict. This is good versus the Bogles decks or the Hexproof decks. They sack a creature and lose a life. Choking Sands is good versus Teamertron, or it's actually good versus Bogles too, because they like to put a lot of auras on lands, and then you can destroy a non-swamp land, and then if it's a non-basic land, it deals 2 damage to that land's controller. So against Tron, it's going to do some damage. Against the Bogos deck, it's at least going to get rid of that land, and then they have to sack all the enchantments that's on all the enchantments auras that are on that land will go away, and they're really counting on those through ethereal armor. Then last we have 2 more Hideous Ends, which is just destroy target non-black creature's controller loses 2 life. I'm going to wonder if this is just better than Soul Reap. We'll have to wait and see because it's instant speed, but I did want to try out Soul Reap. Then we have Electrickery, which does 1 damage to each creature you don't control. This is good versus any sort of white deck where you can overload it and destroy all their 1/1s. There's certain green decks too that this is good against, and whatnot. So that's just the gist of the deck. It's not too splashy. It's not really doing much. I'm wondering if it's going to be able to compete with like the Goblins. Very similar to how Goblins runs in the format. And I'm sure that there's some other choices that we could bring in to make this deck a little more snazzy. I actually like a different way to build rogues, which is with Fairy Rogues, because you have access to Pepper Smoke, which is incredibly powerful in the format. It basically says target creature gets -1/-1, and you get to draw a card. And there's also another Prowl card that is a Fairy Latchkey Prowler. It's a 3/1 flyer, but you can cast it for its Prowl cost for 3 and draw a card. So you basically get draw a card with a 3/1 flyer, which is incredibly powerful in the Pauper format. So anyways, we'll end up playing in this league and see how well we do. This is Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com, brought to you by MTGOTraders.com. Thanks for watching.